Hi, my name is Hannah, and in this video, I will explain how initiatives and referendums support the idea of direct democracy as it's reflected in Arizona's government system. And so to begin, I think it'd be helpful to define what direct democracy means. And it simply means run by the people. So it's a system where citizens do more than just elect representatives. They also take an active role in shaping law and public policy themselves. And so, two important tools that make this possible are initiatives and referendums. An initiative is a process that allows citizens to propose new laws or constitutional amendments and then have them placed on a ballot for voters to decide. And so, in other words, the idea for change starts directly with the people. A referendum is slightly different. Those allow voters to approve or reject a law or a constitutional amendment that has already been passed by a legislature. So rather than creating new laws, referendums give citizens the opportunity to review and respond to decisions already made by lawmakers. And so, in looking how each of these processes work, um, for initiatives, the process begins when citizens or an organization develops a proposal for a new law or amendment. Supporters must then gather a required number of signatures from registered voters. And so once enough valid signatures are verified, the initiative is placed on the ballot where voters get to decide whether it should be adopted. For referendums, the process involves challenging or reviewing a law that has already been passed. So supporters must submit signatures within 90 days after the legislative session ends. And so if enough valid signatures are collected, the measure is placed on the next general election ballot so voters can determine whether the law should take effect. And so when comparing the two processes, both processes are forms of direct democracy that allow citizens to express their views and participate in government decision making. Additionally, both can influence state laws or constitutional amendments depending on the proposal. However, there are key differences as well. Initiatives begin with the people as citizens propose new laws and gather signatures to bring their ideas forward. They are mainly used to create new legislation, whereas referendums, they focus on laws that already exist. They allow voters to approve or reject legislation passed by lawmakers, serving as a review or check on government action. So, when considering the pros and cons of each, initiatives offer several benefits. They give citizens direct power and allow them to bypass the legislature when they feel important issues are not being addressed. Initiatives also encourage civic engagement and help limit government power by ensuring lawmakers don't have complete control over policymaking. So, in addition, initiatives can also lead to creative policy solutions that elected officials may be hesitant to pursue. At the same time, initiatives have challenges. Special interest groups may support proposals that prioritize their own interests. Campaigns may be expensive and time consuming, which may give an advantage to well funded organizations. There's also the possibility of legal and funding consequences since initiatives are sometimes written outside the traditional legislative process. Referendums also provide important advantages. They give citizens a direct voice in major decisions. They increase government accountability and often result in laws that carry stronger public support. However, referendums have their drawbacks. Political leaders or interest groups may use them to benefit their own political party or influence public opinion. Additionally, voter turnout for referendum elections can sometimes be lower than larger national elections, so that may affect how representative the results actually are. And so finally, both initiatives and referendums strongly reflect the idea of direct democracy in Arizona. Initiatives empower citizens by giving them the ability to create laws themselves rather than solely relying on elected officials. Referendums complement this by allowing voters to directly approve or reject laws passed by legislature. So it gives citizens the final say on important government decisions. And so both processes empower voters and reflect the democratic principle that government authority comes from the people. By providing these tools like initiatives and referendums, states like Arizona ensure that citizens have a voice and remain active participants in shaping their government and the policies that affect themselves and their communities. So, thank you.